Hello everyone. I think I'm doing this live Q&A after a month or so. I was in India, so couldn't do live Q&A there. Was busy getting few things sorted, but now I'm back in the UK. I'm in my new place now. So yeah, if you have joined the live Q&A, feel free to post your questions in the chat. I'll be more than happy to take them, and we'll give a couple of minutes for other people to join, and then yeah, we can take things off from there. Are you in Newcastle now? Yes, I am in Newcastle now. I was in India for a month, but I came to Newcastle just yesterday. What are your plans for New Year? Anyone's doing anything special? Is AI engineer demanded in companies like Google, Microsoft, Apple, IBM? Is it good to do BTech in AI? Will it worth? Yes, of course, because all these companies they are investing quite heavily in the field of AI, and whatever they are creating, whatever products they are creating, they are trying to incorporate AI in that. So yes, definitely there is a huge scope of AI engineers in these companies. So doing your bachelor's in AI could be a really good investment and a good path to take for your career. So yeah, it can be a good thing, but just don't stick to the course which has been provided by a lot of different colleges and universities. Try to gain some work experience while you're doing your bachelor's by finding internships and stuff. So that will definitely help you build your profile. And not just build profile, you will get to know how these tools and techniques are being used in the industry. So that is actually very important than just having theoretical knowledge. When you came to the UK initially, how did you deal with the uncertainty of living in a new country? Well, I took small steps. So the first thing was I didn't know how to cook. So I tried to learn. simple stuff. So that once that was sorted, I um, well, it's not like it's very difficult. Well, it can be difficult for people who have been too much dependent on their parents when they talk to their parents for even a simple decision. So I'm not saying you don't have to talk to your parents. It's good to talk to them because they can always guide you. But then when you tell your parents all your small inconveniences, that's when you feel like um, you don't have that support. So that can become a bit challenging because when you are here, things work very differently as compared to what it is in India. And if your parents haven't been outside of India, then they won't be able to give you a proper solution. So you will have to see your own scenario in what situation you are in, and based on that, you need to make the best call. So it is sometimes a bit daunting, but then it's not like it's very difficult. Just take one step at a time, and whatever issues you are facing, just try to solve them one by one. And I think that's how things become much easier, and it won't be that big of a trouble, I would say, because when you think about going to a foreign country, not knowing anyone there, and things work very differently in different countries, it can become a bit tensed. But once you start taking one step at a time, things become much more easier. My sister currently in the UK. Any tips to get data science graduate role or fresher's job? She tried her level best. Unfortunately, all the applications ended up in rejection. Yeah, actually, I know that because a lot of people, they have reached out to me on LinkedIn as well, asking for how to apply for graduate roles. The simple answer is you need to apply to as many roles as possible and don't restrict yourself just to graduate roles. Do apply for any data science roles available out there, even if they're asking for 1 or 2 years of experience. Because sometimes what happens is they put that requirement of 1 or 2 years of experience, but then when they see their resume, when they see candidates' resume, and if it stands out, and if you have done some relevant projects which the company is working on, they may give you a call, and they may assess you, and if you perform well in interview, then they can give you offer as well. So don't just restrict yourself to graduate roles. There are a lot of graduate roles, but I would say there aren't enough graduate roles because a lot of people who are doing data science courses, uh, they are coming from different backgrounds, so even they are interested in graduate roles even if they have like 5 6 years of industrial experience. So that's there, but then companies prefer to hire people with no experience or very less experience for graduate roles. But sometimes if they feel like the candidate is not good enough, they may go for some experienced people as well, because in the UK everyone is ready to work in a graduate role even if they have some amount of experience. So uh, yeah, that's the advice that I can give probably. Some IITs offer BTech in AI. Is it good option? Yes, definitely. If you do your bachelor's from IITs, it's always a good option. Hope everything is fine with you. Apart from data science and AI, what are the other options in which we can do our masters? So you can do your masters in computer science, which is very generic course, and when you do that course, you learn a lot about software development and things like that, and maybe networking as well. So after doing that course, you can get into computer networks, you can get into software development. That is a much broader uh, yeah, that is a much broader field. And then there is this game development. You can do courses in game development as well. So these are some of the other courses that you can take. to guide me where to apply for data science jobs and when should I start applying for non-graduate roles. Usually, when you are about to start your dissertation, I think that's when you should start applying for non-graduate roles because usually they ask you to join within a month or so, sometimes immediately. So I think that's the time when you can start applying for graduate roles. And where to apply, there are a lot of platforms. So I personally used LinkedIn quite a lot. Apart from that, Indeed, CV Library, Read, REED, Total Jobs, Target Jobs. So these are some of the websites that I can name. But if you simply search for data scientist roles in the UK, there will be a lot of different websites that will pop up, and you can apply to those roles from those websites. What to do after BTech in AI for masters? Should we go to abroad in top universities? Certainly you can do that. Yes. If you do your bachelor's from IITs, I think you should be able to get into top universities like MIT. And if you do your master's from those universities, you will most likely end up in some really good company, right? But what I would suggest is once you finish your bachelor's in AI, even if it is from IIT, try to get into industry, work for a couple of years, and after that, try to um, go for masters. That will be much more beneficial as compared to doing masters just as a fresher. I'm from mechanical background. I want to switch to IT, right? Um, in that case, do you have any experience, and how long have you been uh, learning data science or any programming language, if at all? And when did you finish your bachelor's? So if you could let me know these things, I may be able to guide you in a specific direction. Where can I find some good resources of applied statistics? I am doing MSc Big Data Science, QMUL, and I find applied statistics very hard. I don't know what topics they are covering in the course, but there are few channels like StatQuest is one of the channels. The other one is Three Blue One Brown, Three Brown One Blue. It could be either way. I always get confused um, between blues and browns. So do check out that channel, and then I also have a statistics playlist on my channel. So do check out that as well. You may be able to understand some of the concepts from that playlist because I have also tried to teach you how to implement those things using Python programming. Please increase the volume. Is it not audible? Is it the same for everyone? It's audible very low, right? So for some people it is fine, for some people it is very low. I'll try to speak a bit louder. Hopefully that way it should be fine. because usually I just keep my tab in a similar position, and I never had this uh, volume issue. I think I started applying now for non-graduate roles, so I am getting rejected. Is it possible to move to USA for job after masters in data science in the UK? Well, visa implications will always be there, and obviously you have done your masters from UK, so you won't get post-study work visa for US. So that is there. So the only way to get a job in US is to apply for job in the US, and if you are able to get some job and if company is ready to sponsor, then of course, if you get H1B visa, then of course you can move to US. So that is the only way that I can think of. But if there are some other ways, obviously for UK residents, things are much more easier. But for us, I don't think it is that easy. So you need to find a job, and if you get H1B visa, then obviously you can go to US. How you used to prepare for statistics for your masters? I just did the course and assignments and whatever projects we had. I did not do anything uh, special, I would say. Yeah, so I just did those things which we had in the course. Did you start your career with graduate role or non-graduate role? So I joined Infosys as a systems engineer trainee. So I would say that is a graduate role in India. So yes, I started my career with a graduate role, and then I worked there for maybe 2 years, I guess, and then I also worked for a startup. After that, I did my master's. So yeah, but after my master's, I did not join any graduate role. I straight away got data scientist, senior data scientist role. I have good exposure to Python, SQL, PySpark, Pandas, NLP, data visualization, areas, Selenium, Java, Database, etc. I graduated in 2016 from mechanical engineering, have 2 years of experience. Rest of time I was preparing for my civils. As of now, it's been much time, so I want to move on, and in meantime I develop the following skills. Right, that's good. You have good amount of knowledge, I would say, and you do have 2 years of experience, but I am assuming that you had 2 years of experience before you were preparing for civil exam. So I think you are currently not working. Um, so of course you can do masters, but then you will have good amount of, like, almost 5 years of gap. It's not like gap is seen as a really bad thing in the UK, but of course, someone with similar kind of skills, and if they have continuation in their career, they may be preferred over people who have some gaps. So that will always be there. What I would suggest is, if you can find job in IT again in India first, and then work there for a year or two, maybe. Right. So you had 2 years of experience in core. Okay, got it. So if you can try to get into some service-based company, or if you can get into any company where you can work on data science stuff, that is really good in India. But if you think it is really hard, then of course masters can be a way to get into data science, but then you asked for other courses. But if you go for some other courses like computer science stuff, then it may become a bit difficult for you. But then again, you have knowledge of Python, so you do know programming, so it won't be hard for you to pick up any other programming language. It is actually quite tricky, but then yeah, if you have the capability to take the risk, then of course you can go for masters. If you want to be on a safer side, then you can apply for data science related roles in India itself and probably try to get into IT. And if you want to explore some other things, maybe you can try web development. You can try to learn MERN stack. And if you don't know what MERN is, M stands for MERN, M stands for MongoDB, E for Express, R for React, and N for Node.js. So if you learn this, you will be able to develop a fully functional website. And if you do some projects on your own, and if you build some websites, you can put that in your portfolio and try to get good knowledge of those tools, because you just don't want to create websites, because if you just want to do that, you can find tutorial online and you can just follow along and you'll be able to make a websites pretty easily. But then try to understand how they are working under the hood, and that's where you will be assessed in the interview. So if you have made good portfolio, if you have made some projects, websites, and if company likes it, then they may call you for interview, and if you're able to answer those questions, you should be able to get a job. So it's not like you have to have a computer science degree. But if you don't want to go that way and you have already learned Python and a lot of data science related stuff, you can try to look for a job in data science itself. And for data science as well, you need to do projects, try to host them, try to make them accessible to the uh, hiring manager, and that way you will be able to get some interview calls, hopefully. Going to US, taking 50 lakhs loan at this point of time is worth as a fresher. So 50 lakh loan, if you want to pay that, um, it's not big of a deal when you're going to US, even as a fresher, because the pay scale is quite good there. But then, of course, expenses are also high, and it all depends on your living style as well. So if you are good with savings, you should be able to pay back 50 lakhs in 2 to 3 years, um, or maybe less. So that's there, but then again, uh, it's all uncertain, right? Because then you have to find a job. But what I have seen is most of the people who have gone to US from my college, from my bachelor's batch, most of them have been able to find a job. So I think you should be able to find a job, and 50 lakh is not that bad. Is Dubai a good option for masters in data science? Harriet Watt University have a branch over there. Is that a good option? Or some UK universities like Hertfordshire, Salford, Greenwich? I don't know much about Dubai. I never explored Dubai that much. But if you fancy going Dubai, then of course you can try to do that. I don't know any of the visa implications for Dubai. I don't know about the job market, so I can't really comment on that. As for Hertfordshire, Salford, and Greenwich, they all are decent universities. The course content of Hertfordshire and Greenwich is actually good. The only thing about Hertfordshire is that in one batch I've heard they have like 500 students, so that can be a lot. But if that is something which uh, you don't mind, then of course you can go to Hertfordshire as well. What do you think about graduate visa? Are they going to cancel it in 2024? Um, they may not. I don't know, because they have been bringing quite a lot of changes in the regulations. So they can do it because they are really hard on stopping a lot of immigration. So yeah, they may cancel it, but I can't say anything for sure. Hi Ashutosh, I'm talking about recession part. Yeah, recession is there everywhere. So um, it doesn't matter where you go. It is a little bit hard to find a job anywhere in the world right now. In India, it's not recession, but then the competition is too high. Whereas in other countries, jobs have reduced and number of people going there for masters is still increasing. So yeah, you could say that it will be hard to find a job. But if you're able to find a job, then paying 50 lakh is not a problem, and that's what I was talking about. That finding a job is the key, be it recession or not. Do you review CV on Insta or LinkedIn? I don't do that on Insta or LinkedIn, but if you join channel membership, there is a tier where you can opt for. So in that, I do uh, resume review. I'm planning for masters in data analytics from Ireland. Got conditional offer letter. Cost is 20 lakh. Is it worth it? Yeah, the course is just for 1 year in Ireland as well, and Ireland is uh, yeah, Ireland is a center where a lot of bigger companies they have their data centers. So a lot of data related opportunities, but then you also need to consider that it's a really small place, and there are limited number of companies. So number of jobs are less, but then uh, and also in uh, probably in whole Ireland, I think the living expense is a bit high when it compared to other European countries. I think maybe similar to UK or a little bit more. But apart from that, I think pay scale is also fine. And the job market, like I told you, number of jobs are less in Ireland as compared to any other popular locations. Someone voted not so good. Maybe not someone, multiple people. I hope whatever is troubling you gets resolved, and I hope your day gets better from there on. You're welcome, Vikas. I'm planning to take the interview prep. What can I expect from that? If you're talking about the membership, then in that, um, I would ask you for what kind of role you are applying for, whether it's a senior, junior, graduate, things like that. And then if you have some, uh, let's say, job description in your mind, if you have seen some kind of job description, so I will ask you those information from you. Okay, obviously, I will ask your CV as well beforehand, and then we will schedule a call for about 1 hour, something like that. And in that, obviously, I will do a mock interview for like uh, 30 to 35, maybe 40 minutes. And then I'll give you feedback on where you can improve and what else you can do to probably improve your profile, your resume, and your interview skills. So that's what I do, if that's what you were asking about. You're welcome, away. Like, I have no experience. And that's fine. That's not something that mm, is required for interview prep, I guess, because I think it is more important for people who don't have any experience, because you may not have gone through any interviews as of yet, so you don't know how to answer certain questions. And then I've seen a lot of people while I was interviewing some of the candidates for two of the roles in my team, they were really hesitant to say I don't know for a specific question, which is fine, I think, uh, because it's not like you can know literally everything, and especially when it comes to tools. So if it's a conceptual question, then of course I expect you to know those answers. But when it comes down to tools, like for example, there are a lot of different type of tools that you can use to process big data, right? Like PySpark, Snowpark, etc. So if you don't know, let's say Snowpark, but you know PySpark, and I ask you some questions related to Snowpark, you can say that I don't know Snowpark much, but I have worked with PySpark, or I haven't worked with big data at all. So that is also acceptable. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people struggling to say that I don't know, especially with the people uh, where they don't have any experience. I'm planning for Roehampton data science course in September 24. Should I wait until the final low for graduate visa, or is it not a big deal? And what do you think about the university course? I don't think I got your question. I'm planning for Roehampton data science course in September 24. Should I wait until the final low for if you could rephrase this question, probably. I did not get the question. What do you think about the university and the course? I don't have much idea about the university itself, but I think I did look into the course content. It was all right. They were covering most of the important concepts in data science. So that's that. Suggest some good data science projects to improve my profile, and how many projects did you have while you applied for jobs here? Well, while I was doing my course, we had projects in all the modules. So I had approximately 6 to 7 good projects in my resume, and I did not do anything extra. It was all from the master's course. But then I did some of the fun projects on my own, just wanted to try stuff, which was not mainstream machine learning or deep learning. I tried uh, um, what was that project? It was on natural language processing. I did multiple projects on natural language processing. Yeah, it was a name entity recognition, and then I did one segmentation project where I had this image of land, and then I had to segment plot, house, trees, cars, path, things like that. So I did that segmentation project on my own. So those were the two projects that I did apart from the course content. So yeah, all in all, I think I had 8 projects, but I did not put all of them, or maybe I did. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I had like 7 to 8 projects, and then I had a profile as well. And in that portfolio, I had listed all the projects that I had done and links to the GitHub GitHub repo where I was explaining everything about the project, what's going on, what things I have used, and if you want to replicate, how to replicate that project. So yeah, that's what I did. And if you want to do some project now, I would suggest making use of large language models would be a good project, and I'm planning to make a video on one of the projects soon. So I'll try to make that video as soon as possible. Applied, how is applied root course? Um, to be very honest, I think applied AI course was really good at the price point they were offering. But now I think the course has become really expensive. I think it is 2 lakhs or something like that. And I think there are other good options now um, by the likes of iNeuron, I think, which is much cheaper, and they offer all the things that you have in applied AI. Probably they teach online, and by online I mean you have to go to live classes and you have to attend. They don't have the recordings. Well, you do have recording of the lecture, but then they are pretty long recordings. So that's the thing which I don't like. I prefer on-demand content, because that way I can watch the video at 1.5x speed. If I want to go faster, I can slow down things. But when it is live, um, it is usually much slower. So that's that. But I think iNeuron is probably the best course available right now. There might be some other courses. I haven't been in touch with a lot of courses related to data science in India. So I don't know, but I think iNeuron is a better one among these two, considering the price point, because it's not worth paying that much for applied root course. Even if they had made like what 50,000 Indian rupees, I would have said yeah, it is still worth. But from 30,000, they have made it like what 2 lakhs or something like that. I got an option for dissertation, which is LLM, but I am not aware of that term, so I wasn't sure what is LLM actually. LLM is large language models. So you must have heard about ChatGPT, Llama 2, Bard, Claude, those things, right? Where you can simply go and ask questions. So it's the natural language processing uh, project. So by using generative AI. So that's what LLM is. Uh, so you don't really have to train a model yourself. What you can do is there are a lot of trained models available online. You just need to call the API, and then you need to pass your text to that, and then maybe you can ask for summarization, you can go for Q&A, things like that. So that's what you do with these large language models. And also you can probably create a project where you ask a question in natural language like in English, and it can generate a SQL statement for you, and then execute that SQL statement automatically in a database, and then it extracts the data out of it, and then you can again pass that data into large language models so that it can frame it in a natural language. So just to give you an example, you have this employees table, and you can ask ChatGPT, Claude, Bard, or Hugging Face, any of the models, um, that I want to extract the average salary of all the employees, and then it will write an SQL statement for you, and then it will execute that SQL statement in a database, and then it will extract, for example, the output is, let's say, 30,000 pound or 40,000 pounds. uh, it will display 40,000 pound, and then you will ask it to give that data into natural language, so it will say that the average salary of all the employees is 40,000 pounds. So that's something that you can do with large language models. uh, you'll have to create your own pipelines, so you need to connect different systems together. It won't connect everything for you, so you need to have a Python environment where you will connect the database, where you will call the large language model API, and then you will send the request to large language model first asking a question, and then you will also tell the large language model that I have this table, I have these columns and the description of all the columns, and then it will generate an SQL query for you. And now you need to take that SQL query and you need to run in the database, and you will connect to the database using Python again, and then you will send that query to that database, and then the database will return you the output 40,000 pound, and then you will send that 40,000 pound to large language model again, and you will ask print this in um, natural language, so it will print average salary of all the employees 40,000. So that can be a good project. I'm not sure what your project is all about, but I hope that made sense. I am I'm concerned if they cancel the graduate visa, so it would be a bit difficult to find a job. So I am a bit confused if I apply now for the course or wait until they finalize the new law. Okay, right. Now I understood. Yes. I would say apply, because applying to universities is free. You don't have to pay any application fees, and at later point, if they say that we are stopping graduate visa, then you can just call off, and you can choose not to join the university. But if you keep on waiting for them to make a final call, maybe they won't uh, make the final call by, let's say, March, April next year. Are you just gonna wait till then? I would say no, because by that time all the good universities will be gone. So apply for the universities and just wait and see what they do. Because if I have to assume, I would say that a lot of people have already applied for September intake, September 24 intake. So hopefully government won't stop graduate visa for September 24 intake. Maybe they will do it for future batches, but if I just have to assume, they won't stop graduate visa for September 24, but I could be wrong as well. But then for you, I won't say that wait for the final call, just go for mm, go for the application process and apply to the universities. After completing masters in data science, if you have good exposure to web development, can we apply for development jobs in UK? Yes, definitely you can do it. And if you have good exposure to web development, it can come in handy for data science projects as well. So if you want to, let's say, host a machine learning model, or if you want to create an application which is centered around data science, you will be able to create those web apps pretty easily, and it can come quite handy for you, and you can leverage this skill in your interviews as well. So yeah, it is always helpful to. And in fact, I am actually learning a month stack right now, so Yeah, it will always come handy, and you can definitely apply for web development jobs. What is your opinion about University of Manchester data science course? It's a really good university. It's a really good course. So definitely a thumbs up. How is your work-life balance right now? Did you notice any changes from India? Work-life balance is actually good here when it compared to India. So I would say I am actually quite happy working here. Sometimes, yes, it can get really busy, but it's totally up to you. How do you wanna manage? It's not like they'll call you at like 12 a.m. at night and they'll be like, there is an issue in production, you need to look into it. They don't do it like that here. So I would say definitely work-life balance is good here. And does university matter to get job or skills? No, I already have a video on my channel that university's name, it will only come into picture when they have to do the tiebreaker. So if you really have a good portfolio, good resume and stuff, and by resume I mean projects, you have it on your resume, and uh, you have hosted them, you have made a proper profile, university's name won't affect that much. But then if you have a mediocre resume, and then there are other people, because most of the people they have just put like a couple of projects and haven't done anything to set them apart from the crowd. In that case they will look at the university name uh, just to use it as a tiebreaker. So yeah, if you do a good amount of projects, if you have good amount of skills, then it doesn't really matter which university you're going to, because uh, I have done my master's from Newcastle University, which is considered to be as one of the good universities, and it is a Russell Group University. But then there is another university here, which is Northumbria University, and there were some people I got to know when I was doing my master's here. They did their masters from Northumbria University, and they were able to find a job. So as a fresher, so I would say, yeah, it doesn't really matter which university you go to, as long as you keep yourself away from the wrong type of crowd. Because when the university is very affordable, a lot of people come there for just to chill maybe, and for ill intentions, things like that. But if you keep yourself apart from those wrong type of people, and if you keep putting in your effort and time into right stuff, you will be able to find a job. So that's what I can say. And I think it having a good peer is actually very very important, because they keep pushing you to uh, probably improve yourself, maybe not directly but indirectly, because when you see a lot of people working on good projects, interesting stuff, then you feel like you will be left behind. And because of the FOMO, you will be working on some interesting projects yourself. But then if you are in an environment where people are just chilling out, and they're just going out partying and stuff, then you will feel like I should do that as well. And then you will get into those things which are not gonna uh, end up in a right place. So I'm not saying that in universities like Russell Group universities you don't get those kind of people. We have a lot of uh, people like that. So, but then it's totally up to you how you wanna separate yourself from them and with whom you want to bond. So that is totally up to you, and that you can do in any university. But usually, when the university is Russell Group or it's an expensive university, uh, serious people come to those universities, and then it becomes a little bit easier to just be motivated to work on good stuff. Exactly, Abhay. Right, we are just under 1 hour now. But if you still have any questions, feel free to drop in the chat. I will wait for a couple of more minutes. And if you don't have any more questions, then I will close the live Q&A, and then I will probably see you next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. I moved to a new place and I need to buy some stuff like utensils and things like that. So for that, I need to go out, but outside it's not looking really good. It's a really gloomy day, and well, it's not like it's something new here. Most of the days are gloomy here, but then it is cold. So when it is gloomy in summertime, it doesn't really bother that much. But in winters, yeah, it's not the most fun time to go out. But I'll see if I can motivate myself to go out. I will go out and I need to buy some stuff. I also need to buy some groceries because I don't have anything. I came just yesterday from India, so I need to buy those things as well. I'm planning to do masters after BTech. Is it good to go in 24 as a fresher? I won't say so, and I've said this so many times that even in a good job market, sometimes it can be a bit risky to do masters as a fresher, but still, you will be able to find a job when you have some experience. But then, if you don't have experience, you're a fresher, and the job market is quite green. In that case, it doesn't feel like um, it doesn't feel like a really hard job to find a job. So that's that. But yeah, right now in 2024 the job markets are not looking really good, and I was just doing Google search just before this live Q&A about the number of jobs in the UK, and it has been falling continuously since May 2022 till November 2023. So yeah, now the number of jobs or number of vacancies in the UK has dropped to 949,000 jobs, and it includes all kind of jobs, not just data science jobs. It includes all kind of vacancies. We are still above pre-COVID period, but then we are not too far off. So before COVID, we had 801,000 jobs. That was at the peak. But then right after COVID, we hit the peak at around March 2022, and there were 1,302,000 jobs. So what did I say? 1,000, well, just over a million, right? 1.3 million jobs were there. And now it has come down to 959K jobs. So it has been dropping continuously since then. So it will be risky, and I have seen a lot of freshers, they are trying to find a job, uh, and they are facing it. Uh, they're facing a really hard time to find a job. So I would suggest once you finish your BTech, try to find a job in India, and it doesn't really matter where you get into. Of course, if you are able to find job related to data science in India, that would be really good, and that's what you should aim for. But if not that, then probably try to get into any related roles or at least IT and work there for a couple of years. And by that time, hopefully, the job market will start to look good, and then you can apply for masters. Yeah, and that way it will be a little bit easier for you to find a job. Was it easier to find a new job after the first one? I won't say it was easier because I applied for quite a lot of jobs, and when I see on LinkedIn, I applied for about 500 jobs, and I got only what, 4 to 5 calls for interview. But then, whichever call I got, I was able to convert them into an offer. So uh, that's that. It wasn't easy, but I tried to do my best. And if I see the time gap between different jobs, so when I was in my course, when I finished my first semester, after my first semester, I had this graduate role offer. And by the time I finished my course, I had this senior data scientist role at a startup, which I joined. But then the startup lost that project, and then they had to lay me off. After that, within 1 month, 15 days, I was able to find another job where I'm working right now. So that much time it took for me to find a job. But then I applied for quite a lot of jobs, and I had made a proper schedule, and I dedicated a specific time in my day where I have to apply for job, and that's what I used to do. Where are you staying currently? I'm in Newcastle. There's a news that job market will be good in mid of 24. Let's hope for that. If that's the case, then yes, that's good. But again, that's a news. Anything can happen next year. But if you wanna go for that, I can't really change your mind. Um, and one thing I've seen is, which is fine, because if I want to do something, if I've set that in my mind that I want to do that, I will do it. It doesn't matter what other people are saying. So I was just telling you how things are right now in the UK. I cannot predict what will happen next year. So if you feel like next year the job market will be good, then yes, definitely you can go for masters. But if you have the capacity to take that risk, then certainly go for masters. That can be a good option. But if you think you don't have the appetite for the risk, in that case, I won't suggest going for a masters. And you know your situation much better than I do. So certainly, if things are good next year, that's really good. Even I want it to be like that. So yeah, that's a good thing. After masters, can you do a job in your university as assistant professor? I don't think you can be a professor or assistant professor without a PhD degree. While you are doing a PhD, I think uh, you can be an assistant professor, but I think you have to be enrolled for a PhD course. But without that, I don't think it is possible. Russian small change. I'm planning for US. Right. Yeah, I think if things are good in US, it should be fine, I guess. Right. I think I have answered all the questions and we are over 1 hour now. So have a good Saturday, everyone, and I will see you guys next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. If you enjoyed the live Q&A, please give it a thumbs up. It always keeps me motivated to come here and talk to you guys. So yeah, see you guys next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. Bye.